All right, welcome back, students. This is your sixth sort of lecture videos. I've already uploaded five sets of lecture videos, four videos per lecture. So you will have your lectures for the introduction to economic law, you have a lecture for law of contracts, you have a lecture for property law already in your slide. Now I'm going to talk about what is the lectures on the law of tort. All right, so law of tort, we're going to spend two classes in trying to cover them. So you expect eight videos, four for the first class, four for the second class. All right, what is tort? So when we talk about the study of law, remember we talked about the fact that law as it is a complex concept. To study law in its totality, in its entirety, it's an immense task. As a result, what scholars have done over the past is to break down law into categories, into subject matter, which enhances people's understanding of what a law is. So you are familiar with the division of law into public law and private law, division of law into civil law and criminal law, basically, so that it makes the study of law easy. But tort law that we're going to look at now is an area of private law, so it falls in the private law category, and it's a civil, comes under the civil law category. So always civil law is different from the civil laws applicable in France, but civil law in this case we mean that civil law is the opposite of criminal law. All right, so what is tort? So, all right, the first thing that you need to know are tort. These are based on your lecture slides given by me. So your second sort of slide there, you have a sort of picture of books of law of torts reports and books, and then you have in red definition of tort. Tort is a civil wrong committed by a person that allows the aggrieved person to sue the wrongdoer for the compensation for any personal injury, property damage, or economic loss that have occurred or by the law as presumed to have occurred as a consequence of this wrong. So first of all, it's a civil wrong, as we said, committed by one person against another. So one person must commit the tort against another, and if the tort is committed, the person that is aggrieved or suffered injuries can sue the wrongdoer for compensation for any personal injury, property damage, or economic loss that have occurred by the law or is presumed to have occurred. All right, let me give you a practical example of the definition. All right, let me say I come to Yalubu for holidays and I decided to stay at Puyas Lodge at the old airstrip just past the highway. So I've been given one of those upstairs rooms, and the stairs there is a slippery slope. So when I want to go up the stairs, there's supposed to be lighting to guide my steps for me to have access to my room that is upstairs. But the problem is if there's no light there, and if I sleep, and then let's say I break an ankle at the same time, I have my iPhone in my hand, and I fall on my iPhone, and this totally smashes the glass of my iPhone, and then the doctors and nurses they tell me that I'll be my arm and leg will be in a cast for 4 weeks. That means that for 2 fortnights I won't be able to go to work. So I will sue them because it's a tort. I would sue the hotel, police guest house, under occupiers liability, and then I would say that you had the duty of care to make sure that there were lights for me to go up the stairs. You failed that duty. As a result, I suffered injuries, and my injury, one, it's my broken ankle and broken wrist. That injury that I suffered was to my property, my latest iPhone, and the third injury I suffered was I will not go to work for 2 weeks. As a result, you owe me that compensation. So that is what we mean when we define the tort. The topic of tort is a civil wrong committed by one person that allows the aggrieved person to sue the wrongdoer for compensation for any personal injuries, property damage, or economic loss. All right, the original word comes from Latin tortus, meaning crooked or twisted. All right, so the law of torts has some fundamental aims that it sort of tries to achieve or it embarks upon to try to satisfy. Now, the first aim of the law of tort is compensation, putting the injured party back to the position before the tort was committed. So in my example there, you see that it puts me back in a sense that it compensates me for my iPhone. Now it tries to restore my iPhone, my property loss to my original state, and that is uh, for me to get a new phone. All right, deterrence. It provides examples in order to stop others from the tort. Exemplary damages are awarded in cases where courts want to send a message. So in our case here, you would see that when I get that injury and I sue a guest house, they will say, "Oh, the first thing that we need to do because we suffered damage, we paid out compensation, is we need to put lights for guests to go up there. Otherwise, we might get another lawsuit." So that's called deterrence. All right. When you talk about exemplary damages, these are damages that are awarded extra on top of damages that has been incurred because the courts want to set an example that this shouldn't happen. And the most cases where they award exemplary damages in PNG is in police brutality and police raids. So police brutality and police raids causing destruction to property, the court will award exemplary damages basically because they want to deter police from continuing to embark upon those type of actions. All right. The economic analysis is spread, but also in a way it is efficient. So the aim of the law of tort is try to provide some economics, some numbers as to the type of damages and loss incurred, and try to work out some figures to compensate the person that has suffered. All right, and the fourth sort of aim of the law of tort is to basically try and cause the person causing harm to bear the loss. So when you, for instance, in this hotel, put a guest house, a commercial entity, has some money there, it would have cost a 5 kilo or 10 kilo to put a light bulb up there, or an extension cord with a light to illuminate the stairs for guests to go on. And when they fail to do that, they must now suffer liability. So we look at the definition of the law of torts, and we look at the aims of the law of torts. So in your next lecture, we will go down and break what the law of torts is. We look at the torts of negligence. We look at special liability regimes, personal torts, and land torts. So these are the categories of the law of torts that we will be covering.